What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Crypto Lair. My name is Andy, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about, was Binance hacked? Uh, it is up and running now, but we're going to talk about what happened the past couple of days with Binance and how some sites were claiming that it was a hack, but no, it was just a systems update, and one of the data servers failed to back up, replicate the data. So we're gonna get all into that. A couple seconds here, but before we do, I just want to start off by looking at the market today. So the market looks pretty good today. Like I said in my past few videos, I'm expecting to see the market cap at around 400 billion and probably going to be around there for the next couple weeks. But I did actually see the market cap go up to 350 yesterday. 450. So that was pretty good. And a lot of people were expecting crypto to go down since the Binance trading exchange was down, but actually it increased after it was brought back up. So a lot of people were, and also a lot of thing that's going around on Twitter is people like trying to use like pictures of big names and like telling you to donate like Ether or a Bitcoin to this address and you get double return. Well, that's all scams. I hope none of you guys fell for that. But let's get on. So Bitcoin is at 84, which is pretty good, staying above the 8,000 mark, which is really nice. Like I said, if it reaches probably into the sevens, I'll probably put more in. But as of right now, we see Ethereum. It is at 852. So it seems like Ethereum and Bitcoin are kind of pegged right now at the moment. Like Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up, Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum goes down. That's with a lot of these coins. Ripple is up $1.06. It was sticking around 70 cents the other day, and I didn't think it was going to see much growth, but today's got up to $1.06. Take a look at Neo. It's at 109. Neo yesterday hit like 120. I saw that was really good. Dash is at 625. Tether's at 101. Owns are at 2265. Wow. All right, so let's get on to the Binance. What exactly happened? So what happened was, here, I can take you back into the timeline and show you. So it didn't do well. CZ, the CEO of Binance, said that it failed to replicate its info. So here I just have an article here that he released, a recap of what happened, and I'll read some of it to you. So we're gonna read the main issue because this is what mainly happened. On Thursday morning, one of our replica database clusters failed over from master to backup. This is most likely due to an unexpected hardware failure. 27 minutes later, the backup database cluster also had an issue and failed over again. Shortly after that, data inconsistency alarms were triggered. Upon investigation, it was confirmed there were indeed data corruption affecting 1.7% of users and growing. The data was corrupted in a way that none of our existing tools could fix. New data generated based on top of this corrupted data would result in more corrupted data. To limit the spreading of data corruption, we had to do a full resync of the database clusters as soon as possible. We estimated that this would take several hours. It was hard, but necessary decision. I gave the go-ahead. We updated announcements and pushed it out on the social media as quickly as we could and then started the resync. So what basically happened was, if they were just to ignore this problem that they had, it would have affected a ton more users. And they, in my opinion, Binance handled this very good. They've handled it very professionally. They updated us every 2 hours, making sure that we were always up to date on what was going on. And that just shows how big of exchange Binance is. I mean, Binance hit more than 1 million users last month, and that apparently to them that's that's a crap ton of people. So just to think about how many people were freaking out when Binance was down just shows you how many people rely on Binance, and they're not going away anytime soon. So let's continue. The resync was complex due to our large architecture and with heavy optimizations for trading performance and in memory data structure rebuild. The full resync also involved a number of distinct phases, which also made it hard to estimate the exact time it would take in total. until the last phase had started. It was only after we started the full resync did we discover that sheer growth of data in the last month would prolong the time needed. Initial calculations puts the estimate time at 10 hours. One of our team members threw up, literally. But the estimate was still off. As time progressed, the sync was slowing down, putting the estimate at about 60 plus hours. It was not acceptable. So, due to the fact that they just had a huge number of growth, they have so much data right now, so it was just slowing it down. And I guess one of the guys actually threw up from that. I mean, I'm not surprised. While the first sync was still progressing, 2 new methods were coded, tested to the extent possible, and under the time constraints we had, started in parallel. Both of them were indeed faster. One of them saved us the number of precious hours in the end. The process still took a long time. The short version is the full team worked continuously for 34 hours, overcoming many difficulties to bring the system back online as quickly as possible, and continued to work for many hours after trading was resumed. So this just shows that they really care for this company. And I was following this story along, and I was looking at the tweets, the replies, and I was seeing some people were tweeting like, Binance should give us 100 BNB for like we're losing money and stuff. Well, first of all, if they ever was to give away that much BNB, the value of it would go down, like totally down, because there'd always be so many in circulation. So I don't know why people would be asking for Binance coins. Like, if they were just to give them out for free, like, it would just, obviously the price would go down and you wouldn't make shit. Excuse my language, but so let's continue. There were a number of lessons learned, and items were ticketed as post-mortem for future implementation. They are being worked on, tested, and deployed as we speak, including nights and weekends. Some of them are architectural changes and require trading halts for deployment. We appreciate your understanding in this coming days. They will be quick. So they're just saying that there's going to be a lot of updates rolling out the next few days, and which is good. Any update is really good for any website or company. So I'm expecting Binance to turn up their game and be good. Let's see if Binance is up right now. So Binance is currently up, but yesterday, when you typed in Binance.com, nothing showed up. You had to type in us.binance. So today, it's fixed. So let's continue. While we were busy restoring our systems, our support site hosted by Zendesk became unreachable, limiting our ability to post announcements at the precise time we needed it the most. We believe this was due to a DDoS attack on their service. It was tricky to announce this, as the FUDders would certainly exploit the situation to create a lot more FUD. Having multiple issues / problems really creates doubts in people's mind. We always chose to be front and center about it. Just be direct. So I love that statement from them. I love that the fact that, like, if they had issues, they're gonna tell us, because there's a lot of exchanges out there that are just silent about everything. They're not transparent at all, and Binance seems to be very transparent with all of us. So here they talk about the Binance.com. Moreover, our homepage, Binance.com, also came under heavy DDoS attack at the same time. This is a typical case of when you have a car with a broken window. All burglars want a piece of it. Similar to people, how secure a system is often determined during the crisis. Luckily, security has always been our top priority, and hackers wasted their time, effort, and money to no avail. So their security is top of the line. They got everything top of the line. That's why I really have faith in Binance. Like, you shouldn't really be worried about Binance pulling an exit scam, because that's where I was reading a lot yesterday as well. It's like, oh, Binance finally took our money, exit scammed, which is complete FUD. Like, don't believe that fake news you see on the internet. Like, do your research, make sure it is credible before you do any of that. So let's continue with this article. We know how stressful it is for our users at times like this. The best thing we could do while the engineers were working was to keep communications open. Throughout the incidents, our team maintained constant communications with updates no less than every 2 hours. With Zendesk down, we relied on Twitter and other social media channels, and I sometimes complain about this, but now I appreciate there are so many social platforms out there. I only had the bandwidth to manage my own Twitter account. The team, including Binance Angels, managed the rest. So pretty much their Zendesk got DDoSed while they were already down, so they pretty much got kicked while they're down. But luckily, their security on their servers are top of the line, so nothing got stolen. So let's continue. Fudders and scammers. It was Christmas for fudders. All kinds of conspiracy theories were dreamed up. Most of these guys were probably shorting the market at the same time. Well, it probably didn't work out to them this time, as the market didn't drop during our downtime and went up 20% right after our recovery. There were many scammers. The latest fashion seems to be use a profile from a well-known person, create a similar Twitter-looking handle, then tweet a reply to all of our tweets saying, if you send me X Ethereum, we'll send you 2X Ethereum back. We must have reported 200 plus of them. Twitter was quite quick to disable those accounts. However, it must have worked somehow because they kept spending their time doing it. Financial Times, a smaller website than CoinDesk, promptly carried out an article on us being down. Nevertheless, it was true. It also named us as the biggest exchange and brought a bit more of their traffic to us. Well, it is kind of true that Binance is pretty much one of the biggest exchanges. And as you can see, they handled the situation perfectly. Always kept communications. Never really was shady about anything. So I'm thinking Binance is, even though Binance Hacked is legit, it's gonna be one of the main exchanges in the future. Like Bitfinex, I don't think Bitfinex is gonna be around much longer because it's how much it's tied into Tether, and knowing that the founders of Bitfinex are somewhere in Tether as well. So yeah. The real helper was Mr. McAfee, posting an obvious fake image about us being hacked. Everyone pitched in to help defend us. He united the community for us and rallied such support during a time when we needed it the most. Sometimes things that look negative are actually positive. Looking at his previous post, now I think he was completely innocent, but just asking the wrong or right, depending on how you look at it, questions. I can't understand he didn't read my full article about FUD, how innocent questions are the best carriers of FUD. Regardless, my thanks goes to Mr. McAfee, and I will buy him a drink if we ever meet. So Mr. McAfee, the founder of McAfee Software Security, not really a big fan of him. He pumps so many coins. Everybody follows him on Twitter, and they love his advice, but little do they know, the advice is pretty much a pump. He's pumping the coin. He tweets out, everyone wants it, and it goes up, and he dumps it. It's not really hard to figure out, guys. But so I'm not really a big fan of McAfee. You might be, but me, I'm just sick of those annoying times whenever I logged into my computer and McAfee showed up on my screen. I'm tired of that time. Compensators. A few people asked for free BNBs as compensation. Those are probably the same people who were not satisfied after we've given a 70% discount on future trading fees. So they actually did compensate. They gave a 70% off discount until February 24th or 25th, something like that. So that just shows that is way better than giving people free BNB, because giving them free BNBs would just plummet the price. Well, it shows they don't trade much anyway. We thought about going zero fee for a while, but that would not work well for people who referred users to us and are earning a rebate on all trades by their referrals. There's a balance to everything. We have made the best decision we could. So that's good. I agree with that. They should. Other items during the week. The stars must have been in some interesting alignment this week. I sat through in front of my computer 2 earthquakes in Taiwan, a magnitude of 6.0 and 5.7. Our hearts go out to the victims and people affected in Hualien City. And that's a funny thing, because I doubt really any news places even brought up the fact that there's an earthquake in Taiwan, because I didn't get any news notifications about that, and that's a pretty big deal. So that just shows that he is very caring, and he's not in it just for the money, even though he's on the cover of Forbes now. But let's continue. I somehow got on the front cover of Forbes, something I've never dreamed of. There were 2 articles about me. Unfortunately, the main article about me also said cryptocurrency is a bubble, so I chose not to tweet it. Sorry, Pam. I'm sure you can understand. Luckily, there was a second article which I did tweet. I was also shocked to see myself at rank 3. Even with the limited data I have, I know for a fact that I'm not. Don't ask me who they are. I respect people's choice of privacy. And that's just really humble of him, you know? Like, that just shows you how much of a, like, what kind of person he is. Like, you know? Like, he's not... he's not in it for the money, you know. He doesn't care if he's ranked 3. Like, you know, it's not a big deal to him, and he knows that he's not. So that's really humbling of him, like, to say that. My Twitter followers increased threefolds from 30K in 6 months to 90K in the last 2 days. The timing of this incident definitely was not good. With the coin check incident still looming, people were quite edgy, but we can't control things we can't control. We just have to make the best of the situation we are put in. Our Angel, Tech Ops, Marketing, Help Desk, and even HR teams did not sleep much. They worked together closely. There was no finger pointing, zero blame. Everyone just wanted to carry a bit of more burden for each other. I did not ask anyone to work overtime. I never have. Everyone just did what was needed. It was surprisingly easy to organize internally. If above sounds like fun, send your CV and locations to HR Binance. We'll do the best recruiting people for all positions in an industry and company that has significant growth potential. Community is Binance's strength. We are also fortunate to have a strong community behind us, and I would like to sincerely thank all our supporters. Binance is still a young platform. We have a lot of room to grow. We have a long list of improvements. And we need to make, and we'll quickly make them in the coming days. Unfortunately, some of them do require trading halts and system upgrades. We appreciate your understanding and support. CZ, Binance is CEO. So this is, so they're also trying to expand their team, which is a really good thing. Like, you know, if you, I mean, I might send in my resume too. Like, I love programming, so I might also do that. So this is really good. Like, they're expanding, and once they expand, you know, their customer service is going to be so much better. Like, right now they're a small team, you know. Like, I don't know if you guys seen any of their articles, but they pretty much were from they came from like pretty much nothing. They pretty much came from nothing, and pretty much like grew from there. They grew from a little room and big. Well, that's it for you guys. This is a pretty long video, so my apologies for that. But let me know what you guys think about the Binance situation down below. As of right now, everything's back to normal, so you don't have to worry about that. But make sure you subscribe, and if you like the video, drop a like on it. And thanks for watching.